I'm a property investor and I also own a residential lettings and management agency in Birmingham. And I'm afraid I've got some very bad news for you. I think we are in a recession in the UK. In fact, I think we've been in a recession for a good few months now. And as a result of that, rent has decreased substantially. Now, if you're a landlord and a property investor, and if your tenant profile is working professionals, then this is directly going to impact you. Let me try and explain why. So ultimately, what rent that can be achieved boils down to supply and demand. It's fairly, it's just mundane. If your tenant profile is working professionals, then the demand for your property, for your HMO or your single let, and what rent you can achieve for it is ultimately determined by the amount of employment, amount of businesses employing in the area or the area where your property is. Generally speaking, tenants move because of job opportunities. So they've either been offered a new job or they're starting a new job. When there are more businesses employing in an area, the demand for accommodation in the area increases, and as a result, the rent increases. So therefore, if there's a lot of employers employing, there'll be a lot more people going to an area wanting accommodation. And if there's a lot of people moving into an area, i.e. higher demand, going into there looking for accommodation, then the rent for properties in the area will increase, because it's not that easy to increase supply of properties. And the opposite is also true. So when there isn't a lot of employment, a lot of businesses employing, there isn't a lot of people moving into an area looking for accommodation to rent. And if there isn't a lot of demand, therefore rent decreases. Now, the UK economy, I feel, is in a recession. If it's not a technical recession, it certainly feels like a recession. The UK economy has been pretty dismal, pretty stagnant the last few years. As a result, especially I've noticed specifically within the last few months, since the recent budget announcement, specifically since the announcements of the increase in national insurance contribution by employers, since that's been announced, I noticed that not a lot of businesses are hiring. And as a result, because businesses aren't hiring, people aren't moving to start new jobs. And because people aren't moving to start new jobs, because the UK economy is so stagnant, there isn't as much demand for rental accommodation in the area, and therefore the property stays on the market for a lot longer, and the rent level decreases substantially as well. So, I'm a property investor, so this impacts me directly. I'm a landlord, this impacts me directly. I also own a lettings agency. I do the lettings myself because I think it's very important. And I make these market video updates because I think, because our clients say that it's very helpful. I get this information right at the front line. A lot of people in the industry, they might get a sense of the market, but they will only get the information from their team or from the office, and information like that, or data like that, is generally backwards looking, whereas I get the information right in the front line, right there. I live it. This is my lived experience. This is what I do every day. So unfortunately, I feel the UK economy is in a recession. It's been in a recession for a while. If not a technical recession, the economy is definitely stagnant. Employers businesses simply aren't employing or aren't looking for new employees. As a result, people aren't moving for new job opportunities. As a result, rent in the area has properties have stayed on the market for a lot longer. As a result, rent has dropped. Okay, so not great news. We are reaching the summer stage now, and generally speaking, summer people move when the weather's better. You always see this, so hopefully the demand will increase. But yes, right now, unfortunately, the UK economy is very stagnant. Businesses aren't employing. As a result, people aren't moving. As a result, properties stay on the market for a lot longer. As a result, rent is low. A lot low. Anyway, hopefully that's been helpful. I'm sorry it's not the best news, especially as a property investor, especially as a landlord. Stuff like this is very important. If you do have questions, just feel free to drop me a message or ask me in the comments. My name is Nguyen. We like to manage high quality HMOs and single lets in and around Birmingham. If you like this sort of stuff, don't forget to like and follow more. Alright, see you.